Hey gang, Bill Sheridan for the Maryland Association of CPAs. This is the purpose of the CPA. This is our weekly hunt for the why behind what CPAs do. We spend too much time talking about what CPAs do, not enough time talking about why they do it. So that's what we're doing here today, looking to do our part to help change the narrative just a little bit about this profession. And this week, I'm talking with Chanel Trussell. Chanel is a fractional CFO in the Client Advisory Services Division at Clifton Larson Allen. Born and raised in Chicago, came to Maryland for school, but got delayed by life, essentially. A couple of stops and starts here and there before completing her education. She likes to say it's not how you start, it's how you finish, right? And she's right, of course. She also teaches, this is cool, she also teaches accounting as an adjunct professor, rather, at both the Community College of Baltimore County and at Indiana Wesleyan University. So she brings kind of a different perspective to this conversation about the purpose of the CPA. And her purpose, it's all about people. It's about connections, relationships, and that's a purpose that she eagerly passes along to her students as well. I'm going to let her take it from here. Here is Chanel Trussell with her
I
CPA
like to
story.
say that my full-time job feeds me and my teaching feeds my passion
Oh, there you go. Well, that's a great way of looking at it. Well, let's
because I
talk a
don't
little.
see it as work.
Yeah. Well, that's those are the best teachers who see it in that light.
Well,
I come
thank you.
from a family of teachers, and so I feel that's great.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that passion here for a second. I mean, what attracted you to accounting in the first place? Why this profession for you?
Well, I'm gonna just be transparent. I had a few people in my family who had their own businesses. They were CPAs, and they lived a lifestyle that was pretty nice. So I'm like, wow, let me see what they do. I mean, they're making pretty good money, so there must be something to it, right?
Yeah.
The ones that were in my family were on the tax side, so they did a lot of tax returns and that type of thing.
Okay.
And so I knew I didn't want to be taxed. Me and tax are like kryptonite. I know enough to be dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I prefer financial accounting. I prefer all of that side of the house, if you will, just making sure that everyone is aware of policies and procedures, things are in place to protect them,
Hmm.
and making sure that their whole accounting team operates as seamlessly as possible, as effective and efficiently as possible. So that's where I like to come in and use my teaching, if you will, to come in and help train and kind of walk through processes and always look for efficiencies. So
Yeah.
that's where I kind of live in terms of making people better accountants, better focused on the bigger picture, right? And not just trying to do a reconciliation, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah. I think that focus on the bigger picture and efficiencies is something that we could all benefit from, right? I don't think it's
Absolutely.
just accounting, but yeah, that's fantastic. Well, so I don't know, maybe this is a two-part question for you, just based on your work at CLA plus your teaching work, but we'll see where it goes. But I'm curious what you see as the purpose or the why behind your work. What do you accomplish by doing what you do?
Well, a lot of times, people, they have jobs, they have tasks and things, and they just kind of go through the motions, right? They're effective at it, they're able to get finished, but where is that personal piece? Like, where is that human piece, that interaction with others? It's about emotional intelligence. It's about taking care of the people that you work for and work with,
Mhm.
and just bringing that piece, that ethos to the conversation, and not just being a bunch of technical button pushers, right? Because I mean, we're known as bean counters, right? That's what they used to call us, bean counters, and we sit in the back office, and that's all we do is push papers and push numbers. And so my purpose is to say there's a human behind this. There's a human behind the screen when you interact with a person on a Teams call or a Zoom call. We all have that need for relationship and connection. And so bringing that, that's my purpose. My purpose is to bring that back to the profession and say, hey, I'm Chanel. Yeah, I can do your reconciliations. I could do your financial statements probably with my eyes closed. But where is that connection? Where is that rapport building? Where is that relationship? And that's my purpose, is bringing that back.
And the work that you do, I mean, it impacts human beings too, right? It's not just numbers on a page. I mean, this
Absolutely.
has absolute consequences for people,
Hmm. For sure.
How about your work as a teacher, as a professor? How does your purpose there differ from your work at CLA?
I would say it's probably goes hand in hand. I mean, again, you're bringing that human element. A lot of times, students may feel like, oh, the instructor or professor doesn't understand what I'm going through. They haven't been where I am, or they already have their degrees, so they don't understand the struggle. And so, my purpose is to make sure, hey, yeah, I didn't get here. This is my journey, right? I got here a different way than probably what most people have gone through. I didn't do the 4 years out of college, I mean, out of high school to college and into a career process. It took me 11 years to get my AA degree from CCBC, from Community College of Baltimore County here in Maryland. It took me another 2 to get the next degree, another 3 to get the next degree, all with life happening in the middle,
Hmm.
working full time and the such. So I'm not a stranger to hard work or understanding the struggle and what my students are dealing with. So just being able to make sure that I'm transparent enough to share, the struggles that I've gone through and say, hey, if I can do it, so can you. And that's the same with the CPA exam piece of it. I mean, 2 numbers I remember is 783 and 9. 783 hours of study for 9 months. I will never forget those 2 numbers. And, so it's just bringing yourself forward and being transparent enough to share, what you've gone through, because what you've gone through, somebody may be going through that same thing and they may not bring it to you because they think you've quote unquote arrived.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, what do you love most about being a CPA, Chanel?
I like that I mean, it gives you a little bit of more confidence, right? That you know a little something about a little something.
Hmm.
And it gives you the ability to have that platform to say, okay, I've done it. Now here's how you can do it. And just being able to say, okay, what can I do? How can I reach back? Or I wouldn't even say reach back, but how can I reach across to bring someone else along with me and say, okay, I'm going to hold your hand. Let's walk together and help you to get here, because I've already seen what the journey can be.
Hmm.
Let's try to figure out and navigate a path that's going to work best for you. So I think that gives me enough to be able to have a testimony, if you will, that says, this is what it takes. This is how you get here. And it's going to be different for you, for each person. But I think if you have that overview of, hey, this is possible, right? And I think that's what people want. Because right now, sometimes in life, and they're looking at their situation, they may not say this is possible. And so I want to be able to say, I have a CPA license, this is possible, and
Hmm.
here's why.
That's wonderful. Yeah, we definitely need more of that. And here's, I mean, this is kind of interesting because this is a question that I ask everybody, but and usually the question is some form of, if you were sitting across the table from a young person or student, but you are sitting across that table from them, you interact with them on a daily basis. So what do you tell your students about accounting, as they're trying to figure out, their path in this world and where they might fit? What do you tell them about the profession?
Well, I want them to have a healthy respect for accounting. A lot of times, the students and even interns at CLA, when they come in, I like to sit down with the high school and the college interns just to kind of, see where their head is at and just kind of see, what their world is like, so to speak. And the biggest thing is have a respect for the profession. It's not about pushing buttons. I've had a few people tell me, oh, all I have to do is learn the system and push a button and it'll give me everything I need. No, AI is going to take everything from accounting because, all you have to do is feed it information and you'll get back what you need. No. So as I'm teaching my students and as I'm going through in our discussions, I'm bringing up the fact that this is a very important field and profession, no different than being a lawyer, no different than being a doctor. You have to go through the process and really have a healthy appreciation for what we do because it matters. If you put one wrong number on your financial statements, it could mean the difference between getting that loan and not getting that loan, right? So it feeds so many different aspects, and it's a department that is, while it's a cost center, we're a very needed cost, right? So we're very needed cost because we affect and we permeate through so many different areas. So I just I bring that to them and say, have respect for the profession, understand that it touches every aspect of business.
Great stuff there from Chanel Trussell. So glad she could take time out of her busy schedule to be with us here this week. And listen, she's also a published author. Pretty cool there. So if you're looking for something inspiring to read, head on over to Amazon and order a copy of her novel. It's called Misshappenings. That's MISS Happenings. Subtitled A Journey of Faith, Trust, and Revelation, a book about finding yourself, essentially. Ties right into this conversation in a way, right? And meanwhile, we want to hear from you as well. So head on over to macpa.org/y and share your story with us as we try to offer just a little bit of inspiration to the next generation of accounting and finance professionals. We want to hear what your CPA purpose is as well. And in the meantime, thanks for being here. As always, we will be back again next week. More stories to share then. Until then, have a great week. We'll talk to you again soon. Take care.